Hey guys, it's Shay here, and if you're new to my channel, welcome. I hope you enjoy my videos, and if you're not new to my channel, welcome back. And if you are new to my channel, what I basically do on this channel is I do a lot of reviews about anime, manga, some comic book news or discussions, as well as some just anime discussions or basically just nerdy topics in general. So as you can see by the title of this video, I'm going to be doing a review on the anime Darwin's Game. Now, first and foremost, I do want to say that this review will have spoilers, so if you have not seen this anime, please, you are warned, do not watch this review because it may spoil it for you. But if you're someone that has already seen it or doesn't care about spoilers, then feel free to continue watching. So basically what the main premise or synopsis of Darwin's Game is about a guy by the name of Kaname who was a high school boy, and basically one of his friends invites him to play this game by the name of Darwin's Game. And basically Darwin's Game is basically like a hunt to kill video game or mobile app. And basically you see Kaname trying to learn the ropes of Darwin's Game, as long as encompassing a group of friends who then become his clan members, and they try to basically take down this other clan called the Eighth. And that's pretty much the entire premise or synopsis of Darwin's Game. Yes, that is a very like not very descriptive, entire synopsis of the show, but that's basically what it's about. And I have to honestly say that I enjoyed this anime a lot. The anime is only 11 episodes, so it's pretty short, and I have to say that I watched this anime both subbed and dubbed. And what I mean by that is pretty much I watched it on Funimation, and Funimation has their simul-dub, but it only goes up to episode number 8. So from episode 9 to 11, I basically watched it subtitled. And I actually enjoyed both versions. I have no complaints. So one thing I do have to say though is that Darwin's Game greatly reminds me of another anime by the name of The Future Diaries. And if you've never watched it, I definitely recommend watching it. But it has kind of a similar premise where pretty much everyone is using their phones to figure out where another character is. And that's very much what happens in Darwin's Game, is that there's a search function and you can look for other players or find other players whom you are battling, and basically to help you find them. And that's pretty much very similar to what's happening in Future Diaries. And just like in Darwin's Game, people or everyone has a different power in this game. So when you're playing Darwin's Game, you are given something called a sigil, which is pretty much like your superpower. And in the Future Diaries, everyone has their own special superpower as well. So while watching it, it greatly reminded me of this entire show, especially because of the whole having to kill everyone off aspect. Although in the Future Diaries there's something much greater at stake, and it's only one person at the end, whereas in Darwin's Game I believe it's just to amass a great number of players and to keep the game ongoing. So one of the things I also have to say is that the main character Kaname grew up very quickly. And one thing I can say is that in a lot of anime like this, where characters all of a sudden just thrown into a situation, they take a super long time actually like growing up. They whine for a super long time, they can't get the hang of everything, and that annoys me to no end, because I'm just like, come on, grow up, get to it. Like, I understand you're going to need a little bit of a learning curve, or I understand that you're like in shock of what happened, but you need to get it together. But Kaname grew up very quickly, and I think it's because of the deaths of his friends in the game that really made him grow up and really realize that this game is basically no holds bar. You have to take this completely seriously. So like I said before, he amassed a group of friends, and one of the friends that he amassed her name is Shuka, and he basically fights her first, and she's someone that a lot of people have been trying to beat, but he ends up basically beating her. And along the way, I think she kind of falls for him, and he kind of falls for her, although I have to say that during the entire show they don't actually touch on it a lot, or they touch on it but they never touch on like what his feelings are basically for her. But you can tell that she is like this lovesick schoolgirl kind of a way. Another character he meets is by the name of Rain, and I have to say she's probably one of my favorite characters, and it's mostly because of how smart she is, how informed she is, and throughout the show she ends up developing a name by the analyst, and she's basically able to analyze a lot of situations and come up to the best logical answer of how to basically win in the situations that they are basically kind of put in. Another character he meets is by the name of Ryuji. I believe I'm saying his name right. And basically he also battles him as well in not a clan match, but in like a battle match kind of a sequence. But Ryuji has more of a backstory per se, and his involves his little sister, and basically he kind of fakes his death so that his sister is not harmed by what is going on in the game. So I really like him as well. I started off not really liking him, but then I ended up liking him a lot more. And one of the last characters that he immersed within his clan, and this is, I believe the character's name is Sota, but I believe there's another name as well, because it's a child who basically has two personalities of both a boy and a girl, and has two different sigils. So one sigil is with the girl sigils, which is kind of controls water, and I believe Shota's can turn water into ice. And I honestly love that sigil. I thought it's amazing. I've always liked characters with water powers. But this is overall the clan that he pretty much comes up with. And it takes probably about 5 to 6 episodes for him to get all of these players together. And wow, how he amassed a lot of these players is through the treasure hunt game, which is done in Darwin's game to, I guess there's like some sort of a treasure, but they don't completely kind of go into it, to be completely honest. And that entire arc maybe took up a majority of the 11 episodes, which I have to say I didn't actually like. I kind of wish the treasure hunt game would have lasted a lot longer, because when they threw in the new arc or the new part of the series, there was only 3 episodes left in the game, and those 3 episodes went by super quickly. So it was like the first 7 or 8 episodes was all about this treasure hunt and him getting used to the game and learning about his sigil, which actually is him able to basically think of a weapon. Usually it's like a gun or something, and for him to be able to use it, and he has super fast reflexes. But then the latter half is basically them fighting the other clan that's taken over most of Shibuya, which is the 8th. That's literally the last 3 episodes, and it kind of sucked. I have to say, I enjoyed the last 3, I do, but I do hate when shows put in arcs like that, because Sword Art Online did it, and it was strange because as an entire series, like an entire season, you didn't like all of the different arcs, you only liked some of them. And I feel like with this one, they should have stuck with just the treasure hunt arc and then put in them defeating the 8th within that. But I kind of understood it, because when they went into the second arc, it was like a 2-month time skip, and he learned his sigil a lot more, and he learned a lot more about the game and everything else, and he became closer with his clan members. So I get it. Now, one other person I do have to say that they mentioned was a girl by the name of Shulan. I'm probably saying her name wrong, I completely apologize, but I didn't like her from the beginning, and they introduced her and then she left, and so it was kind of like, why would you even do that? I thought she was going to be a part of their clan, but she basically wasn't. And I was like, she was just a stupid character to begin with, although her sigil was cool, because actually I don't really completely know what her sigil was, because I never kind of explained it, because she had an ancient family backstory of being an assassin, so there was that, but I didn't really like her very much. I also have to say that this show, though, definitely gave me one of those oh shit moments. And it's towards the end when they're battling the 8th in the warehouse, and it's the battle between Wang and Shuka. And it was when Shuka was, I didn't know this, was able to control wires and was basically chopping off Wang's limbs, his arms and his legs pretty much. And the oh shit moment came when Wang's sigil is that he can basically kind of it's called a Beelzebub, and he can basically switch places with people and disappear and reappear. That's the easiest way for me to explain it. And basically he realizes, he says, I can switch places with Shuka because he's tied up in all these wires, and he does. And when he does it, I was like, oh shit, she's going to die, but she doesn't. And I was like, that is completely amazing. I love this character. I think she's so cool. Yes, Rain has the smarts, but Shuka has that sass, and I completely loved it. So I have to say that was my oh shit moment. And also at the end where you see the admin of the game, and they also introduce another character whom I can't remember his name at the moment, because he literally was kind of introduced way at the end. So, but I can tell that he's probably going to be a very pivotal character when or if they do a season 2, which I actually really hope that there is a season 2, because they left us on a cliffhanger, and I know that the second season is definitely going to involve more of just the game in general. Also, because of their clan, which is called the Sunset Ravens, they basically made where within their territory the game is not allowed to be played, and they're trying their best not to kill off other players, but they do if that's their last resort. And I know that that's going to have some consequences in the game. Now, I also have to say that I loved the music in this show. Not just the opening and the ending theme, which the ending theme I absolutely loved, but also the music during battles and stuff like that was so cool. I have to say, I really, really love that. Overall, though, what I have to say is I really enjoyed Darwin's game. I didn't think I was going to actually enjoy it, but I did. One of the aspects I also enjoyed about it is the deeper meaning behind the name Darwin's game. Simply because of the fact, many of you guys know, it is basically named off of the theorist Charles Darwin, and he had a theory of evolution, which is basically survival of the fittest, and that's pretty much what Darwin's game is about. If you're strong, you will survive. If you are not the strongest, you will not survive. And about the evolution theory of people, basically based off the surroundings, things happen and only the strongest will continue to survive. That's basically the entire theory. But I have to say, I enjoyed this show. I cannot wait for the second season. I love the characters in it. I do hope that in the second season they don't do this weird arc thing, because I honestly didn't like that. And I also didn't like the introduction of some characters, but them not really playing a pivotal role so much. It was like they came and then they went, and then it was just like what happened? And there were some questions that I have, kind of like his friend that got him involved in the game, like literally pressed his name, sent him the invite, and then that was his friend ended up dying. It was at the beginning, and I'm always wondering like what possessed his friend to send him this invite in the first place, because if he didn't, then he would have never gotten into this game in the first place. But I feel like that's probably going to be answered more in the second season, because the admin even said that with Kaname, the game is going to evolve, whereas with Wang, they thought the game was going to be stagnant. So I'm interested to see what's going to happen with that. But if you have seen Darwin's game, what did you think of it? I'm really interested to know, did you like it? Did you hate it? Did you kind of love it? Do you want to see a second season? Will you be okay without a second season? Definitely let me know. I want to read your comments below as well. Of course, like always, I will have links to all my social media accounts. My Instagram, my Twitter, and my blog as well will be linked down below, so definitely check me out on there. And of course, if you like what I am doing on my channel and you want to see more or want to continue to see my channel, definitely give this video a thumbs up and please subscribe if you haven't already. And of course, please click the bell icon so that you are notified when I come out with new videos, which are every Monday, Wednesday, and Saturday. So that's all I have for you guys. And like I always tell you guys, stay positive, stay nerdy, and during today's day and age, stay healthy. All right, you guys, bye.